20 famous dinners that have faded into history. Can you confidently say that the food that you ate last night will still be around in 20 years? If yes, then think again. Preferences in food are changing rapidly, and we'll prove that by the end of this video as we explore 20 meals that have left an indelible mark on our taste buds and cultural heritage, but have faded into history. Chicken a la king. First, we have chicken a la king, which translates to chicken in the style of king. It is a dish featuring diced chicken cooked in a creamy sauce, often with sherry, mushrooms, and veggies. It's typically served over rice, noodles, or bread, and sometimes presented in a pastry shell. While traditionally made with chicken, some variations use tuna or turkey instead. As for its origins, there are several stories. One version suggests it was invented by Charles Ranhofer, a chef at Delmonico's, in the 1880s and named after Foxhall Parker Keene. Another tale claims it originated in 1881 at Claridge's Hotel in London and was named after James R. Keene. Yet another story credits its creation to Wolfram Mercy Keene in 1903. There's also a disputed claim that it was made for Dewberry William Keene. Another account attributes the dish to Chef George Greenwald of the Brighton Beach Hotel in 1898, named after patron E. Clark King II and his wife. Alternatively, some credit William Bill King, a hotel cook at the Bellevue Hotel in Philadelphia in the 1890s. References to the recipe date back to the late 19th century, with mentions in the New York Times in 1893 and various cookbooks, including Fanny Merritt Farmer's in 1911. James Beard's American Cookery from 1972 provides a recipe featuring mushrooms, green bell pepper, onion, and pimiento in a velouté sauce with sherry. Chicken a la king gained popularity in the mid to late 20th century. Lobster Newberg. Moving on, we have the epitome of seafood luxury, Lobster Newberg. So, there's this yummy dish called Lobster Newberg, or sometimes spelled Newberg or Newberg. It's basically a delicious mix of lobster, butter, cream, cognac, sherry, and eggs, with a little kick from cayenne pepper. Legend has it that a guy named Ben Wenberg, who was a sea captain, whipped it up for the folks at Delmonico's restaurant in New York City back in 1876. The manager liked it so much that the chef, Charles Ranhofer, tweaked it a bit and put it on the menu, where it became a hit. But, as food historians point out, Lobster Newberg wasn't exactly a brand new invention. It was more like a fancy twist on a sauce that was already popular in American cuisine at the time. Plus, there's no solid evidence that it was actually named after Wenberg. Anyway, despite the mystery surrounding its origins, Lobster Newberg was still loved, and you could even find it in French cookbooks. And get this, the original recipe called for boiling the lobsters for a whopping 25 minutes, then frying them in butter, simmering them in cream, adding Madeira wine, and boiling them again. It sounds like a feast. Beef Wellington. Next is beef Wellington. It is a classic English dish that features tender filet steak coated with pâté and duxelles, wrapped snugly in puff pastry, then baked until golden and delicious. Some versions even add a crepe or ham layer to keep the pastry crispy. There's a bit of mystery surrounding its name. While many think it's named after Arthur Wellesley, the first Duke of Wellington, there's no solid proof connecting the dish to him. Some food historians suggest it might have been a patriotic twist on a French recipe, given its similarity to filet de boeuf en croûte. But there's no clear record of the dish until the early 20th century. Interestingly, a Polish cookbook from 1910 already had a recipe for polidwika wołowa a la Wellington, which is essentially the same dish we know today. And in a professional cookbook from 1914, there's mention of a beef garnish called Wellington. The first documented appearance of beef Wellington in an English dictionary dates back to a 1939 food guide from New York, describing it as tenderloin cooked, cooled, and rolled in a pie crust. So, while its exact origins might remain a bit fuzzy, one thing's for sure. Beef Wellington has been delighting taste buds for quite some time, but nowadays it's hard to find. Turtle soup. Next is turtle soup, also known as terrapin soup. It is a dish made from the meat of turtles and is considered a delicacy in many cultures. The defining feature of turtle meat is its ability to create a thick, gelatinous broth when cooked and cooled. Since turtle meat itself doesn't have a strong flavor, the taste of turtle soup largely depends on the seasoning used. Mock turtle soup, on the other hand, is crafted from gelatin-producing meats like calf's head and calf's feet. The popularity of turtle soup surged in England around the 1750s, but declined sharply about 150 years later due to overfishing. It was once a staple at prestigious events like the London Lord Mayor's Day banquet, symbolizing luxury and abundance. Green sea turtle, initially known as sea tortoise, gained popularity in England circa 1728 for its tender flesh, reminiscent of veal and lobster. The earliest English recipes for turtle involved roasting or boiling the meat before it transitioned to soup. By the mid-18th century, turtle soup became widely available in England, often spiced with lemons and cayenne pepper, and enjoyed immense popularity. During its peak, the demand for turtles was staggering, with thousands being shipped live to Britain from the West Indies. Turtles were seen as a fashionable and exotic delicacy, comparable to caviar. However, this popularity led to a drastic decline in the green turtle population and a subsequent rise in its cost. Consequently, mock turtle soup, made from more readily available calf's head, became a popular and more affordable alternative. Eventually, it gained its own following and was sometimes served alongside traditional turtle soup at banquets and events. But all this is a thing of the past. Now, according to an outlet, younger people tend to order it less. Rumaki. Coming up next is rumaki, or rumake, which is a hors d'oeuvre with roots in tiki culture, popularly enjoyed at establishments like Trader Vic's and other Polynesian-themed restaurants during the 1950s and 1960s. Its preparation typically involves water chestnuts and chicken liver wrapped in bacon, marinated in soy sauce with hints of ginger or brown sugar, and then either fried or baked to perfection. The origins of the name Rumaki trace back to the menu of Don the Beachcomber restaurant in Palm Springs as early as 1941. While the exact etymology remains uncertain, it's speculated that the name was coined at Don the Beachcomber. One theory suggests a connection to Japanese cuisine, with rumaki possibly being a shortened form of harumaki, which refers to spring rolls. However, this remains speculative, and the true origin of the term remains a mystery. While rumaki was particularly popular during the mid-20th century, especially in the 1950s and 1960s when tiki culture flourished, its popularity has waned somewhat in recent decades. Today, rumaki is not as commonly found on menus as it once was, but it still holds a nostalgic appeal for some and can occasionally be found on the menu of certain retro-themed or Polynesian-inspired restaurants. However, tastes and dining trends have evolved over time, leading to a decrease in the prevalence of rumaki as a popular appetizer. Beef bourguignon. Next on the list is beef bourguignon, also known as simply beef burgundy. This is a classic French beef stew renowned for its rich flavors and tender meat. This hearty dish is braised in red wine, often utilizing red burgundy, along with beef stock and a medley of aromatic vegetables like carrots, onions, and garlic. It's typically seasoned with a bouquet garni and garnished with pearl onions, mushrooms, and bacon, which add depth and complexity to the stew. While beef bourguignon has become synonymous with French cuisine, its origins are somewhat uncertain. The term bourguignon has been used since the mid-19th century to describe dishes prepared with wine or featuring a mushroom and onion garnish. However, it's unclear if the dish is specifically from the Burgundy region of France. Historically, beef bourguignon first appeared in documented records in 1867, and it gained popularity over time, particularly in Parisian bistros. However, it wasn't until the 20th century that it began to be associated with Burgundian cuisine. But in today's world, the original dish is almost lost. While variations exist of this dish to celebrate it for its depth of flavor and rustic charm. Quiche Lorraine. We have another French classic, Quiche Lorraine. This is a classic French tart known for its rich and savory filling of cream, eggs, and bacon or ham, all nestled in a crisp pastry crust. Initially, it was relatively unknown outside the region of Lorraine in France until the mid-20th century. However, as its popularity soared both nationally and internationally, variations of the dish emerged, with cheese becoming a common addition, although this departure from tradition faced criticism. Historically, quiche, sometimes spelled quiches, originated in the eastern French region of Lorraine, with its name possibly stemming from the German term Kuchen, used to describe similar dishes. There are numerous versions of quiche, with each region of Alsace and Lorraine boasting its own rendition. Traditionally, quiche Lorraine was baked in a bread dough case, akin to that used for pissolatières and pizzas. However, modern versions typically feature short crust or puff pastry. The classic filling for quiche Lorraine comprises eggs, thick cream, and bacon or ham, resulting in a flavorful custard-like texture. While some traditionalists, such as Elizabeth David and Julia Child, staunchly advocated for excluding cheese from the recipe, others, like Marcel Boulestin, embraced the addition of grated Gruyere. Over time, cheese became a prevalent ingredient in Quiche Lorraine, especially as its popularity soared. Today, mostly variations of Quiche Lorraine abound, with some chefs adding Comté, cheddar, or Parmesan to the filling. Crab Louie salad. Up next is Crab Louie salad. Also known as Crab Louie salad or the King of Salads, is a beloved dish originating from the west coast of the United States in the early 1900s. As its name suggests, the star ingredient of this salad is crab meat, with Dungeness crab being the preferred choice, though other types of crab meat or even imitation crab meat can be used. The salad typically features a creamy dressing, such as Louis dressing, Thousand Island dressing, or Green Goddess dressing, either served on the side or mixed directly into the salad. Key components of a Crab Louie salad include crab meat, hard-boiled eggs, tomato, asparagus, and a bed of iceberg lettuce. Some variations may also include ingredients like olives and green onions. The origins of Crab Louie are somewhat uncertain, but it is known to have been served in San Francisco as early as 1914 at Solari's restaurant. Clarence E. Edwards included a recipe for Crab Louie in his book Bohemian San Francisco from the same year. Additionally, a similar salad called Crab Meat à la Louise was featured in the 1910 edition of a cookbook by Victor Hertzler, the head chef of San Francisco's St. Francis Hotel. Another early reference to the dish can be found in The Neighborhood Cookbook, compiled by the Portland Council of Jewish Women in 1912. While some attribute the creation of Crab Louie to entrepreneur Louis Davenport, founder of the Davenport Hotel in Spokane, Washington, the exact origins remain unclear. Despite its popularity in the early to mid-1900s, the prevalence of Crab Louie has diminished over time. Cordon bleu. Moving on, we have cordon bleu, also known as schnitzel. Cordon bleu, which is a delectable dish consisting of meat wrapped around cheese, or with cheese filling, then breaded and either pan-fried or deep-fried. Veal or pork cordon bleu typically involves thinly pounded veal or pork wrapped around a slice of ham and cheese, breaded, and cooked by pan-frying or baking. Chicken cordon bleu substitutes chicken breast for veal, while ham cordon bleu features ham stuffed with mushrooms and cheese. The term cordon bleu originates from the French phrase meaning blue ribbon. Originally, it referred to a wide blue ribbon worn by members of the highest order of knighthood, symbolizing excellence. This association with excellence extended to food preparation, reflecting dishes of outstanding quality crafted by exceptional cooks. The roots of cordon bleu as a schnitzel filled with cheese trace back to Brig, Switzerland, around the 1940s, as documented in a cookbook from 1949. References to chicken cordon bleu appeared in the New York Times in 1967, while similar veal recipes date back to at least 1955. However, in recent years, heavy dishes like chicken Kiev and chicken cordon bleu have waned in popularity. Abalone Meunière. Moving on, we have Abalone Meunière. This dish, once considered a delicacy, was a prominent West Coast specialty that enjoyed a brief but booming heyday before fading into obscurity. Featuring Meunière sauce, akin to the previously mentioned Amandine sauce, it comprises a simple blend of butter, parsley, and lemon juice. In this particular preparation, abalone, a type of edible sea snail, is tenderized, sautéed in butter, thinly sliced, and served topped with the sauce. During the mid-20th century, this dish gained immense popularity. It became so ubiquitous that some eateries substituted large calamari for abalone without patrons noticing. Unfortunately, this popularity led to severe overfishing, driving the poor shellfish perilously close to extinction. Eventually, restaurants ceased serving it altogether. In recent years, there has been a modest resurgence of the dish, thanks to thriving abalone farms. However, table-ready farmed abalone takes many years to grow to the preferred size of around 7 inches. Therefore, it's unlikely that this dish will ever reclaim the nationwide popularity it once enjoyed during its heyday. Chicken Marbella. Another dish is chicken Marbella. This dish truly exemplifies the culinary ingenuity of the 1980s, emerging from the pages of the Silver Palette Cookbook by Julie Rosso and Sheila Lukens. This recipe ingeniously combines sweet prunes and tangy capers with olives and a generous splash of white wine, resulting in a harmonious medley that balances sweet and savory flavors in an unforgettable manner. Garnished with parsley, it not only delights the palate, but also presents beautifully on a plate, making it perfect for dinner parties. One of the remarkable aspects of chicken Marbella is its convenience for hosts. It can be prepared ahead of time, marinated overnight, and simply baked before serving, giving the impression of effortless entertaining. Its exotic blend of ingredients brings a taste of the Mediterranean to American tables, perfectly complementing the era's fascination with bold, worldly flavors. As a fashionable choice for gatherings, chicken Marbella seamlessly integrates into the trend of sophisticated yet easy-to-prepare dishes, adding flair and flavor to any occasion. Spinach dip. Up next is spinach dip. Sometimes affectionately called spin dip, is a creamy dip featuring spinach as its star ingredient. Typically, frozen spinach forms the base of this dip, which can be prepared using slow cookers for a warm, comforting version, or without cooking for a chilled alternative. Spinach dip rose to fame as a beloved party favorite in the late 20th century, celebrated for its creamy and indulgent texture that pairs perfectly with crunchy vegetables or crisp bread. Key components of spinach dip include mayonnaise, cream cheese, sour cream, and cheese, creating a rich and indulgent flavor profile. It's often enjoyed with various accompaniments such as bread, crackers, or chips, making it a versatile choice for hors d'oeuvres, appetizers, or party platters. When it comes to presentation, spinach dip lends itself well to simplicity. It can be served in a small bowl or large ramekin, or for a charming twist, presented in a bread bowl made by hollowing out bread and filling it with the dip. It's also common for spinach dip to be served warm, adding an extra layer of comfort to its appeal. Spinach dip's popularity skyrocketed during the California dip craze, where it became a staple recipe thanks to its easy-to-follow instructions printed on soup mix packets. Often served in a bread bowl for added flair, it quickly became a centerpiece at many gatherings and events. Its simplicity and ease of preparation made it a hit for holiday parties and casual get-togethers, appreciated by hosts for its universal appeal and minimal effort required. The creamy texture and rich flavor of spinach dip make it a comforting choice, particularly beloved during festive seasons when indulgent and flavorful appetizers take center stage. Swedish meatballs, known as köttbullar in Sweden, have transcended their culinary roots to become a beloved comfort food worldwide. Popularized by IKEA's cafeterias, Swedish meatballs gained broader American recognition at the 1939 New York World's Fair. Traditionally, they are made with a mixture of ground beef and ground pork, although some recipes use only ground beef. The meat is combined with beaten eggs, breadcrumbs soaked in milk, and grated raw onions or finely chopped and fried onions. Cream is often added to create a richer texture. The mixture is seasoned with salt and white pepper, or a combination of white pepper and allspice. Swedish meatballs are typically served with gravy, boiled or mashed potatoes, lingonberry jam, and sometimes pickled cucumber. Traditionally, they are small, around 2¼ centimeters, 0.79 to 1.57 inches in diameter, although larger meatballs are common in restaurants. The origin of Swedish meatballs has been the subject of debate. In 2018, Sweden's official national Twitter account claimed that Swedish meatballs were based on a Turkish recipe brought back to Sweden by King Charles VII in 1714. However, this claim was met with skepticism, and a food and culture expert at Stockholm University stated that there was no evidence to support it. Instead, it is believed that Swedish meatballs may have originated in France or Italy. Bacon and cabbage. Bacon and cabbage, or bagun agus kabaiste in Irish, is a traditional Irish dish consisting of sliced back bacon boiled with cabbage and potatoes. Smoked bacon is sometimes used to add flavor to the dish. Typically, the bacon is served sliced with some of the boiling juices added. White sauce, made with flour, butter, and milk, often flavored with parsley, is a common accompaniment. The type of bacon used can vary, with some preferring a brined shoulder butt or picnic shoulder, while others may opt for different cuts of bacon. Traditionally, the bacon is cured using a long process of storing it in salt, but modern mass-produced bacon is often cured using brine. Smoked bacon adds depth of flavor, and in Ireland, home-cured or hard-cured bacon is also available, known for its salty, hard texture. Historically, bacon and cabbage was a common dish in Irish homes, as the ingredients were readily available, with many families growing their own vegetables and rearing their own pigs. It was considered nourishing and satisfying, and it continues to be a popular meal in Ireland. This dish is long gone. However, a variation of bacon and cabbage emerged in the United States in the mid to late 19th century when Irish immigrants substituted bacon with corned beef, creating corned beef and cabbage. This dish often includes additional vegetables, like carrots and potatoes, and bears some similarity to the New England boiled dinner. The term corned refers to the large grains of salt historically used to cure beef. While corned beef and cabbage remains popular in some parts of the United States, it is rarely eaten in Ireland outside of its use as a sandwich filling, and corned beef and cabbage is virtually unknown as a dish there. Cajun cuisine. Next is Cajun cuisine, known as cuisine Cajun in French and cocina acadiense in Spanish. It is a distinctive style of cooking that originated with the Cajun Acadians, deported from Acadia to Louisiana during the 18th century. This cuisine is a fusion of West African, French, and Spanish cooking techniques, resulting in a rich and flavorful culinary tradition. One of the defining characteristics of Cajun cuisine is its rustic nature, emphasizing locally available ingredients and simple preparation methods. Dishes like gumbo are often cooked in one pot, reflecting the practicality and resourcefulness of Cajun cooking. Key ingredients in Cajun cuisine include crawfish, shrimp, and andouille sausage, along with aromatic vegetables like green bell pepper, onion, and celery, known as the Trinity. These ingredients are roughly diced and combined in cooking, similar to the mirepoix used in traditional French cuisine. Additional flavorings may include parsley, bay leaf, thyme, green onions, ground cayenne pepper, and ground black pepper. Cayenne pepper and Louisiana-style hot sauce provide the characteristic spice in Cajun dishes, often delivering a moderate, well-balanced heat. The history of Cajun cuisine is rooted in the Acadian settlers who brought their culinary traditions to Louisiana. Forced to adapt to a new climate and environment, the Acadians incorporated Native American and African American cooking techniques and ingredients into their dishes. Cornbread became a staple starch, replacing the whole wheat bread of their homeland, and they learned to use ingredients like okra from enslaved cooks. Over time, these culinary influences melded to create classic Cajun dishes like gumbo, influenced by West African cooking traditions. While Cajun cuisine has evolved over the centuries, it has maintained its distinct identity. It is often associated with flavorful, spicy dishes, although this perception can be attributed to the modern interpretation popularized by chefs like Paul Prudhomme. True Cajun home cooking still preserves the traditional styles and flavors passed down through generations, even as commercial establishments tend to offer variations influenced by Creole and other culinary traditions. Shrimp cocktail. The next one is shrimp cocktail, a timeless starter that features succulently chilled shrimp paired with a tangy cocktail sauce. The sauce typically contains zesty ingredients like horseradish and ketchup, providing a zingy flavor that complements the sweetness of the shrimp. This classic appetizer has graced many cocktail hours and dinner parties, renowned for its simplicity and elegance. The preparation of shrimp cocktail is straightforward yet precise. The shrimp are boiled with a touch of lemon and spices, then chilled to lock in their juicy flavor. When served, they are often presented in a martini glass, with the shrimp elegantly hanging over the rim and the sauce placed in the center for dipping. This presentation not only enhances the visual appeal, but also makes it a centerpiece of the table. Shrimp cocktail's popularity soared in upscale settings, where it was perfect for whetting the appetite without overshadowing the main course. Its perfect balance of fresh seafood with a spicy kick of sauce made it a beloved choice at many festive and formal occasions, embodying both sophistication and deliciousness. Turkey Scallopini. Moving on, we have turkey scallopini with marsala sauce. This dish offers a delightful twist on the traditional Italian scallopini by using tender slices of turkey as a flavorful alternative. In this dish, thin slices of turkey are lightly dredged in flour and sautéed to a golden perfection. The marsala wine sauce, enriched with mushrooms and a splash of chicken stock, adds a luxurious depth of flavor that beautifully complements the mild turkey. Finished with a pat of butter for richness, the sauce is silky and aromatic, making each bite a delightful experience. Often garnished with parsley and served alongside pasta or potatoes, this dish brings a touch of Italian finesse to the table. It has become a favored choice in eateries that cherish European flair, providing a sophisticated yet accessible meal that's perfect for a special dinner without the heaviness of red meat. Hawaiian pork roast. Moving on, we have Hawaiian pork roast with pineapple, a vibrant dish that beautifully combines the flavors of sweet pineapple and savory pork. The preparation involves marinating the pork in a blend of soy sauce, garlic, and brown sugar, infusing it with rich flavor. Slowly roasting the pork with pineapple slices allows the fruit to caramelize and impart its natural sweetness to the meat. This cooking method ensures that the pork is tender and bursting with flavor, making it a festive favorite. It's often served with sides that complement its sweet and savory profile, such as coconut rice or tropical fruit salads. Hawaiian pork roast is a celebration of the flavors that define Hawaiian and broader Polynesian cuisine. This dish not only offered a taste escape to tropical islands, but also added a colorful highlight to any dining table. It was perfect for gatherings that call for bold, memorable flavors that now only live in memory. Stovetop Goulash. Moving on next, we have Stovetop Goulash, an American twist on the Hungarian classic, offers a hearty blend of ground beef, tomatoes, bell peppers, and onions, all simmered with a smoky touch of paprika. This one-pot wonder has become a staple in homes seeking a warm, comforting meal without a fuss. Its ease of preparation makes it perfect for busy weeknights, with everything cooked in one pot for simplicity and flavor infusion. Often served over noodles or rice, it's a satisfying dish that fills the belly and warms the heart. This version of goulash became a go-to for families looking for a filling, flavorful meal that could easily be adapted to different tastes or whatever ingredients were on hand, ensuring that this humble, robust dish was a frequent sight in many households. Frito pie. Last but not least is Frito pie, a beloved dish in the Midwestern, Southeastern, and Southwestern United States, featuring a delicious combination of chili, cheese, and corn chips, typically Fritos, which gives the dish its name. It's a comfort food classic that's easy to customize with additions like salsa, refried beans, sour cream, onion, rice, or jalapenos, depending on personal taste preferences. There are numerous variations of Frito pie, and it's known by different names in various regions. While it can be prepared in a traditional casserole dish, a fun alternative is to serve it in a single-serve Fritos-type corn chip bag with the ingredients layered on top. This unique presentation adds to the charm and enjoyment of the dish, making it a hit at gatherings and events. The exact origin of the Frito pie is shrouded in a bit of mystery. The oldest known recipe featuring Fritos brand corn chips with chili dates back to Texas in 1949. Some sources suggest that the recipe may have been created by Daisy Doolin, the mother of Frito Company founder Charles Elmer Doolin, or by Mary Livingston, Doolin's executive secretary. However, the Frito-Lay Company credits Nell Morris, who joined Frito-Lay in the 1950s and contributed to the development of an official cookbook that included the Frito pie recipe. Charles Doolin and his Frito Company had a connection to Disneyland, where they were early investors and opened the Casa de Fritos restaurant in 1955. Frito chili pie made an appearance on the restaurant's menu in the 1950s. Another tale suggests that the true Frito pie emerged in the 1960s, attributed to Teresa Hernandez, who worked at the Woolworth's lunch counter in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Her version of the Frito pie featured homemade red chili con carne with cheddar cheese and onions, served directly in the Fritos bag, which was thicker at that time compared to today's bags. Well, that's it. Which of these historic dinners caught your interest the most? Share your thoughts and let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Until next time, happy cooking!